Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you find yourself in this weird, wild, wacky world of ours, and welcome to the second, or I've already run the first installment of Game of Thrones and New Saga, aka one that isn't shit. Because I'm still a little bit salty. It's fine. It's okay. I'm gonna breathe through that. I'm gonna get to my Zen place anyway. The capital at King's Landing has always had its own scent. It's that odd mixture of shit and the bolts of brown that they sling down in Flea Bottom. Needless to say, whenever it's incredibly warm, I swear to God, Nelson, if you don't stop physically abusing your keyboard, I'll insert it into you.
I love you.
Yeah. Um, where was I? Yes, needless to say, on days like this, where the sun is so hot it could almost break the paving stones or crack the paving stones, that smell is altogether exacerbated. Many noble ladies take to putting putting handkerchiefs covered in fragrance over their faces, so that they don't need to smell the human, well, waste and sewage mixed with the decaying smell of meat. After all, when you get a million people cloistered together between a handful of walls, well, it's never going to end prettily. So, however, you have made the trek. After all, it has been some time since there has been such a gathering in all the Seven Kingdoms. King Robert himself has called for a tourney. And considering the amount that fat bastard likes to eat, drink, and, well, fight his way, you're guaranteed to have at least an interesting and fulfilling spot of entertainment. The Red Keep, its doors yawn open. Inside, you see a myriad of peoples, all of them dressed in their finest. Armor glints in the early afternoon sun. There is many different gowns of Baroque Mauritian lace and silk from the far corners of Yi Ti. This is the registration, whereby interested parties can come in order to proclaim their intention to join the joust. If you are suitably connected and affluent enough, they have even set up large pavilions with refreshment, wherein you can stay a while, relax, not have to suffer the heat. And then there are those of you who no one's ever heard of. So, with that in mind, standing at the forefront, next to a long table wherein there are a number of scribes whom are dutifully recalling the list of names, houses, sigils, etc., of individuals who will be participating in the three main tourney events, which are the Grand Melee, the Archery, the Contest of Marksmanship, and the Joust itself. You will see standing this individual. There he is. It's why he still has clothes. He's not a naked knight yet. But he will be dutifully watching any and all of the potential sign-ups for the tournament. Of course, if you wish to participate in the tournament, you don't have to sign up now, because obviously people aren't here, and there'll be a chance to do it again, blah, blah, blah. But it is merely a chance to sign up. So, with this in mind, I will introduce you as all of the houses go, and you may, if anyone wishes to participate, you may sign up. So, first of all, House Caldwin will arrive, because one of your representatives is the furthest right on my screen.
Yes.
Hello.
We're actually on either side.
I know, right?
Well, Lord Caldwin is going to enter the tent because he is as sure as fuck signing up, and I assume he is accompanied by his entourage.
Does his entourage include his daughter?
Yes. Why not?
Congratulations, daughter. You are now deemed as entourage.
Thank you. I will be accompanying my father then under the tent, away from the heat.
As you enter, you are offered refreshments in the form of cool, sweet water that has been flavored with honey. And of course, I'm going to let Scott shout it out because he does it better than I do.
Wine!
There we go.
Sorry, 200 decibels. Almost 10 o'clock at night, and I am doing that.
I'll take the wine, thank you.
Manfred ain't no pussy, so he's taking the wine.
I'm gonna raise no bitch.
If
I
it helps,
know, bitch.
if it helps, it is incredibly good wine. It is in fact Arbor Gold.
Ooh,
Delicious. Mm.
delicious.
Delicious. So, the table stands in front of you.
He shall walk up, and he shall take. I assume there is a quill provided.
You don't actually physically have to write. You just have to state who you are and what you are
Oh, yeah.
competing.
Lord Manfred Coldwin of Crescent Hall. I shall be running for the joust. I forgot what it was called for a second there. The
So,
one with the horse.
So Barristan raises an eyebrow and he says, I'd be rather disconcerted, Lord Caldwell, if you were indeed running at a joust.
I laugh at that.
I'm led to understand that horses are rather the norm nowadays.
I can run very fast.
It's not that poor.
I remember the last time I saw you. You broke 3 lances against Sir Gifford Went. I was impressed.
Bastard still didn't go down.
Well, you know what they say. When it is your family is forced to live in Harrenhal, you fear neither death nor pain. Because let's face it, you're probably going to come back and haunt those shambling ruins.
Poor
And this
Lord
must be your lady, and this young lady must be your daughter.
Indeed. Sarissa? Sir Barristan Selmy.
I bow
A pleasure to
politely.
meet you.
It is a pleasure.
Are you here? Are you looking forward to the tournament, my dear?
I'll be excited to listen for it. Not much watch it.
On a side note, sorry, I should have also pointed out that your ward will also be entering with you in the form of Lady Ravenholt. I like that name, by the way, because I'm edgy as fuck. Hang on 1 second. I'm going to see if I can summon her the old-fashioned way. Goats!
I'm here, sorry.
It worked.
I have a quick question. Sorry.
What in the name of all that's holy is that buzzing noise?
What buzzing noise? Is it my mic?
Yeah, it sounds
I
like a
think
fish
so.
tank. You know, like the fish. You know the thing that filters a fish tank. That's
Alright,
what
give
it
me
sounds
2
like.
seconds. I'll be right back. I'm just changing over my mic.
Okay.
Will you?
More
I bet you're excited to watch the tourney. Yes. Yes, I am.
He doesn't know.
He's losing his wit. Oh.
Are you excited to watch the tourney? I'm blind. Well, fuck.
No, you're not. You can totally see. Look, dodge this.
Just get smacked in the face. She just gets smacked in the face.
I mean, it's fine. You didn't need that face anyway. That sentiment made absolutely no sense.
It's good to hear that Lord Gallo doesn't care about looks.
What, when you try and sell off the blind one to him?
The blind one. Like,
Oh,
that's
God.
a title.
It's the only one I've got.
Oh, no, I'm smart.
Give him a
I may
discount.
not be able to see.
just pull it, just like, for all intents and purposes, you can see for the next 5 minutes.
I mean, a bride is a bride. If they bring a lot of cash, hey.
I tell you what, we're actually going to move forward. Basically, we'll do Lady Ravenholt in a few moments when she gets back to the microphone. But next up is going to be Lord Daysip. Oh dear.
Oh God.
That went downhill real
Okay.
fast.
Yep, it did. So, in Bardius, a young male, who is not looking their best, or maybe they do actually, like wearing some like the clothing are still somewhat dirty. There's a couple of holes in them actually, if you look closely. A lot of it is like literally sewn together.
Oh, God.
And yeah, he'll. Hey, beggars can't be choosers.
Literally.
They, yeah. And Ash will walk up to the table, and you know what? Why the fuck not? He will sign up for all three.
Oh, he kind of Barristan looks down and says, "You must be of noble blood to compete. We have no place for common sellswords."
Do I look like a common self? I can't even say this.
Do I look like a common source? Yes, you do.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not doing
And,
so
yeah,
well, are
okay,
you?
so Ash will like straighten himself up and just looks the other guy like square in the eye and is like, "Who says I'm not of noble blood? I'm Lord Ash Daysip, Lord of Dragonstone. What the fuck do you want?" No, he
Actually,
won't say
not-
fuck.
You're from Dragonstone. You have your
From
own island
Dragonstone.
name.
Fine.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can come up with your own island name.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah,
This is
I was
cool.
gonna
We
say
still
let's
have
call
to
it.
come up with that.
I was gonna say there's an island called Fair Isle, so we could call that Foul Isle if you want. No, Barristan looks.
Well, no, I have to discuss that with the house. That's fine.
Barristan looks you up and down. He's got very cool, very measured view. He opens up a large book that's being kept on the table next to him. If any of you look, it literally says the names and titles of the nobility of the Seven Kingdoms. And his finger goes down the list. Then it goes down some more. Then it goes down some more.
Ash will just stand there, arms folded, trying very hard not to look impressed at all this grandeur. If he actually sees the wine, he'll just take it.
Oh no! The servants stay clear of you. They actually kind of swerve.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
It would seem as though this pup is telling the truth. There is indeed Lord Ash Daysip. Interesting. Welcome to the tournament.
Would I ever lie to such a noble lord as yourself?
Barristan.
But so you guys literally, Lord Caldwin, you have this flea-infested thing standing beside you. Have fun with that.
He looks so confused. He's like, "What the hell are you?"
I just follow.
He doesn't say that, but his face says it for him.
Sorry, because your name is Sophie, isn't it, my dear?
Yeah.
Her mic is kind of quiet, so if she's talking, just let her speak because it's a little bit hard to hear her. So Sophie, continue. Do your thing.
I mean, I was just gonna ask, does he smell bad or anything, or is he just?
I mean, he washed a week ago. Pretty seawater. Go with that.
So yeah.
Okay.
Smells of brine.
The brine.
I mean, okay, no. I mean, he wanted to look best for like going to. So probably he washed yesterday, but still, it was in seawater, so it's not that clean.
Okay. I just look at the smell.
Look at the smell.
Next up, we in fact have Lord Uland.
It's about fucking time. All right. I duck into the tent, like, substantially so.
He's a better of a man, is Lord Uland.
Lord Coldwin. Bloody hell. I haven't seen you in years.
I think it was the Greyjoy Rebellion last time.
Oh, that was wonderful. Sorry about your son.
It wasn't my son. It was
Oh.
his.
I just blink. Right.
Lord, to think we had heard that you had died.
A bit more stubborn than you'd think.
I doubt Death has the patience for Lord Uland.
Yeah, that's one. Who's this anyway? Smells like seaweed.
Well, pleasure to meet you, Lord Ash Daysip.
I extend my hand.
Ash will go to clasp it.
Well, take a shower someday and maybe you could be a knight.
You offering me a shower? It's cool. I still need a place to stay.
Oh,
There's a cheeky smile on his face.
I raise an eyebrow. I like this one. Right, well, let's see what I can do.
So, Lord Uland, are you signing up for the contests?
What day does the sign-ups end, anyway?
Day after tomorrow.
Right. I eye up my compatriots. Don't know. Might give it a day or two.
You have to. It's been a long ride. Your bones are old, and they need time to rest. Barristan says with kind of he says with a half smile, almost like that kind of, "You're my anime rival" kind of way.
That's the one, Barristan. I'm sure you're familiar with that too.
But we're not guarding the king and actually having to do something with my existence. I just sit there by the fire and wait for death.
Well, standing outside of a door or sitting on a warm couch with an arse on your lap is no more worse than someone's bitch.
And I can see why King Robert holds you in such high esteem.
Yeah, he'll need me one day. He knows it.
All right, next up is going to be Lord Sherwind.
Oh no.
Just literally going to walk in singing a shanty with two of my friends. Ignore the picture. I haven't found a decent enough one yet.
A pirate's life for me. We shall continue.
No, I was going to go more along the lines of what's the fucking name of the thing? Regardless. And for once, I've killed and I've shot, embedded the cultists of children with blood, and if I could go back and make my amends, I will glare at the good Lord Coldwin. I'd make every mistake again. I'd kill every last one of those bastards, my friend.
I don't like this song.
It's you.
Ash will applaud. He likes this song.
Oh, thank you.
It fits. I mean,
Forgive me, Lord Uland, but this is where I depart.
Oh, no worries. Am I right in saying that my prior mistakes would be extended onto him? Points at the right.
About.
Well, I'll see you in the stands.
Or in the tavern.
All that.
I
Anyway,
wouldn't go to the tavern, Lord Coldwin. You'll find most of my men already there. Very dangerous for a lord.
Are you suggesting that you would breach the king's peace?
Well,
I am suggesting that my good friend here has many enemies in the Iron Islands, and many of them are in the current pubs. I would never suggest breaking the king's peace in the slightest. You know us Ironborn are completely known for keeping our word.
And failed rebellions.
would Sherwin
Baba!
isn't Sherwin a big boy?
Yeah, he
Right.
obviously the picture's not brilliant, but he is big
Right.
boy.
Well, I walk up to him, I look him dead in the eye, and just like, best keep your penis in your pants, boy.
I have literally no
my lords,
response
we
to
all have
that.
big penises here.
I put my
We
finger
all
on his
have big
breastplate.
penises here.
You're a long way from the ocean.
I mean,
You're a long
really?
way from a coffin, old timer.
Already got one foot in. We'll see if I can climb you in as well.
I tend to fit into most small places.
I'm trying to contain my laughter.
At this point,
man. Sorry.
at this point in time, the curtains will open, and there's an interesting smell of perfume, is how I'll phrase it. As sauntering into the room will be this individual, because he's the last one I think who needs to show up, along with along with 2 or 3 members of his retinue, including Lady Drakemeyer and Ashram. So, yeah, as I said, there's this, it smells like very expensive perfume, possibly from Lys.
Lovely.
As he kind of he has a very kind of languid, slow step. As he kind of sways side to side. You'd almost swear he was drunk, but my. He has a very attractive young lady on his arm in the form of Lady Drakemeyer. Such testosterone, gentlemen.
Well, got to compensate for some people.
I think half of it just left when you walked in.
Well, that'd be when you walked in, Sherwind.
My. Already, he looks at the woman at the time. He says, "I've just entered, and already they offer me offence. Have I done something to them, my Lady Drakemire?"
Of course not, darling. Some people just don't know how to act.
Squints and Stag.
I'm quite sure you often have men fighting over you, Lord Gallows. It's no problem.
No, my Lord Sherwind. I tend to have men fight for me. That's the difference. Anyway, it is a pleasure to see you again, Lord Caldwin.
It's a pleasure to see you. I could only wish I could say the same about your perfume. It's lovely and all, but it does not mix with the smell of seaweed. It seems
That's
really incredibly pungent in this tent.
I got to give him points on that one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I mean, Ash is laughing because, you know.
I must admit, the smell of seaweed is rather strong.
I had noticed. Is this perhaps a new parfum that I was not familiar with? Or shall we simply call it the Ode de Claw Bay? He leans in very languidly. Once again, you see the fact that both of his eyes are different colors, which in Westeros is kind of a creepy thing. It's considered like a mark of sorcery. He leans in, he blinks, and he says, that would be you who has this rather interesting aroma. What's your name? He's leaning into the other Ash, by the way. Not his Ash, the other Ash.
Thank you. I am Lord Ash. I'm forgetting my last name. Great. I'm Lord
Daisip.
Ash Daisip. At your service.
My. How interesting. He
Thank you.
he flicks his wrist, and a servant scurries forward to enter him into the archery contest. He then kind of looks at Ashram and shrugs, and he says, "Do you wish to join the melee or no?"
I will join the melee, my lord.
Very good. Once again, there's another flick of his wrist. So, what is it that we are currently having such an energetic debate on? Also, I do not believe that myself and the lady are acquainted. He will say, turning, and even though he knows that she can't see him, he will still bow respectfully to Lady Caldwell.
Oh, thank you. Oh wait, she can't say. Never mind. She kind of just turns to the direction and she said, "I'm Lady Sarissa. It's a pleasure."
Ah, yes. Your father spoke of your loveliness. He was not exaggerating.
Thank you. You do charm me oh so much.
But yes. At which point, out in the courtyard, so basically outside the tent, you hear two trumpets start to blow very loudly. At which point, Barristan said, the king wishes to give his opening address. If you would all care to follow me.
I feel like
I'll-
my ability.
I'll sign up for the melee later, I guess.
Oh, you can sign up now. If it's fine, you literally just say, I sign up for X, I sign up for Y. Don't worry about it.
I sign up for the melee.
Cool. I will point out, for those of you who want to use your fancy Valyrian steel weapons, you're not allowed to in the melee, because they will fucking kill people.
Yeah.
Fine by me.
Doesn't say anything about armor, though.
Actually, if for the forgot what it's called, the one when you're on a horse and you run at people.
Jousting.
Jousting. Are we given a jousting lance?
You can't joust. You're not a knight.
Okay.
It's a big thing in this. You have to either be of noble blood or a knight to joust. Anyone can compete in the melee, but that's the thing about the joust. It's basically fancy boys with fancy sticks.
Critical hit. It was super effective.
So I was going to say, Scott, you may need to switch over your picture.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Medicam is going to give me a bit of grief, I assume, but you might have to give me a minute.
Take your time. As you walk out into the courtyard of the Red Keep, you feel the sun streaming down on you once again. It's very hot. It's very oppressive. However, on a large balcony overlooking the courtyard, you will see the doors open and two men who are dressed in identical armor to the individual here, but they're wearing their helmets, step out into the mid-afternoon sun, followed by King Robert wearing his crown of office. He looks particularly... I'm just going to say he's absolutely shit-faced. It's fine. Just go with it. As his welcoming speech to the Lords of Westeros for attending his tournament. Go.
All right. I'm just changing the title card. Give me a tick.
Take your time.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll just put Bobby B. It's easier.
I have a picture of what my character looks like. Where should I put it?
That's the point. I should get my two characters sorted at some point.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you guys want an overlay, just ask Shayna very nicely. She makes really good overlays. If you want to find out how to put them up on the screen like we do, somebody can teach you how to use Minicamp. It's a pretty simple process, provided you're not Scott.
Yes.
I do know how to use Minicamp. I just need to install it.
Cool. So, Scott.
Yes.
Go. The king
All right.
His welcoming speech.
Robert would stand up slowly. You can almost hear him wince. Anyway, he's still gripping his horn of wine. He's just like, "Welcome, lords, ladies, and all things in between. My good friend Eddard Stark's name is Hand of the King. Now, I'm not going to bother you with a load of fancy words. Let's just enjoy this and get it over with." Piss myself. Anyway, he sits back down in his chair.
Someone, you don't know who, in the crowd shouts, "Long live the king," at which point everyone will chime in, unless you would like to pointedly not shout "Long live the king." Is there anyone here who would like to pointedly not shout "Long live the king"?
I'm considering it, but you know.
Lord Coldwin has his treason mallet ready.
Go on. I'll not say it and see how fucked I get.
You do not say it. You notice Lord Sherwin does not say "Long live the king." Lord Coldwin.
I'm sorry. I just really don't like Lion King. I'm sorry.
Bloody Islanders.
I have the perfect image for this, but it's unfortunate.
Oh, also for everyone here, that can see at least, Ashram is wearing quite particular clothing. He has the breastplate, which is black and has his health symbol on it, but his clothing is feathers, pretty much red and silver to represent the colors of his house of feathers, and with a feather cape. It's all bright and very colorful.
That's darling. All right, so Bobby B returns back into the Red Keep. All right. Which lords here have status 3 or above?
I do.
Believe I do.
I have status 3.
I've got a jar of dirt.
I got a
Yeah. I'm like, lol, I can pretend I have status 3, but no.
Do ladies count for that?
Yes.
I don't.
Yeah, status 5.
Hang on. Sophie, what are you saying, my dear?
I don't have status 3, so.
However, your father does. Basically, what is going to happen is a long list of names is read out for people to hear based on your status. So, like, for example, Lord Gallo's name is the second name called out on the overall list. But basically, these are invitations inside the Red Keep in order to go to the throne room in order to share a meal with a meal among your peers before the tournament. Now, what is going to be quite funny. Based on your status, you are able to bring in some guests. So, for example, because Lord Ryland has status 6, he can bring in a total of up to 2 guests with him. But obviously, in terms of, he doesn't need to bring Lady Drakemire, who is herself on the list. But basically, if you have status 4, you can bring in If you have status 4, you can bring in a single guest. If you have status 3, you just get in yourself. So let's see who invites who in, because they are also considered to be under your charge while they're inside. Which means if they steal anything, start a fight, or piss on some of the furniture, you're responsible. I'm looking at Lord Dacer for pissing on the furniture.
Hey, I would never piss on the furniture. You need to use that furniture. We have 1 chair, and it has 3 legs.
I just love the beautiful idea of walking in and just like everyone's amazed, just looking around at the Red Keep and Daysip is just there, like, look at all those fucking chairs.
I think canonically, could I also sign up Andrew Uland, my my son who is status 3? For the melee, that is.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Everyone can sign up for the melee. Even commoners can sign up for the melee if they think they're good enough.
Yeah, I'm just gonna bring me and him in.
All right. So you two will enter. Lord Caldwin, do you choose, other than your daughter, who you will... Does Lord Caldwin have 4 or 5 status? Or 3 or 4
has
status?
4.
So you may bring your daughter in as per Grassus. You may also bring one other individual in with you.
I'll probably bring in my ward.
Okay. Lord Gallo has the lion's share of invites. He is going to bring in... He doesn't need to bring in Lady Drakemire, who gets it herself. He's going to bring in Ashram, his own bodyguard, and so he has 1 space remaining. So if anyone would like to go in, you may feel free to try and get him to bring you in as he walks towards the door.
Bat your eyelids.
I mean, I already have status 3. I already have status 3.
Oh, you're also a foreigner, which means your status is kind of wibbly, though.
Okay.
So if anyone wishes to try and get their asses into the party, they can feel free to try and ask him.
You know what? Why the fuck not?
Yeah, sure. I'll give it a go as well.
Never mind.
So literally, you guys just walk up. Basically, you kind of advance on him as he's not taller and posing and all. But Gallo's only about 5'8", 5'9". As he walks with Lady Drakemire on his arm towards he's on the first step going up to the gatehouse, going up to the door, with Lady Drakemire kind of on the just about to step up onto the first step when both of you kind of intercede. It's really funny because his bodyguard is a huge man dressed in very odd-looking armor with a gigantic axe. If any of you have ever seen a bearded priest in Norvos, he also has a fine beard. Because let's face it, sometimes you just need beards, guys.
Actually, the lady can bring a friend, right?
She can.
So Ash will actually make a rather fluent bow for the lady. My lady, if the sun wasn't so hot, I'd say it was you. Which is terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Clarice could just kind of raise an eyebrow.
I will make an impression one way or another.
I don't know what. I like to think that Lord Uland is just walking by upstairs, a swing and a miss. And
Just Lord Uland and Lord Caldwin are walking by each other like, that was fucking awful.
You know what? Ash will actually blush a little, and it's like, I'm sorry, I'm not very used to all the fancy talk, but you're radiant, my lady, and I just wanted to compliment you.
Grow a beard.
He, in fact, does not have a beard. I agree with this. He's a very smooth-faced
Oh, okay, we're actually going to have a roll quickly. We're going to have our first proper roll of the game. Hooray! So
Oh, God.
what we're going to do is, Lord Daysip, you're going to roll that very specific pool of yours.
Okay, you will need to help me though with the rolling.
No
Give me a
worries.
moment.
So roll me your, I believe it's 7d6.
Yeah, I think
That's your thing and your specialty.
Yeah. Yeah.
So roll me that, and Ashram, Lady, myself as Lord Gallo, and Lady Drakemeyer will all get to and my bodyguard, whose name is Zytho, will get to oppose it. It is opposed. One moment, please. By awareness. So if you have the awareness skill plus empathy, you can roll. Awareness skill plus my apologies. Awareness plus notice as a specialty. You guys can roll it. If not, you just roll straight awareness.
Okay.
So Saskia, you roll your.
I rolled 76.
And we then pick the highest 4, I believe.
Okay.
So what is your highest 4? Your highest 4 is 12, a 5, and a 4. So that's 12 plus 4
21.
is 16 plus 5 is 21. Okay. Oof. That's a high pool. That's pretty high.
I mean,
This is my bodyguard. Nope, he does not see it. And this is Gallows. Nope, he doesn't see it either.
yay!
No one sees it.
Cool. So yeah, nothing is out of the ordinary.
Man, that is
nothing is out of the ordinary about this fine gentleman.
Of course not.
Also of note, Clarice has a little boy with her, probably about 6 years old.
I mean, Ash has not given up yet, so he bows, like I said, and it kind of stays there a little longer than maybe necessary.
Whilst he bows, Lord Gallo turns, and as he's got his arm, they just continue to walk up the stairs.
Okay, that's fine.
So it'd be this moment of, oh, no, I wasn't done.
No. I mean, he will just get up and watch, and just kind of shrugs, and then we'll try and find an inn where he can get free booze, hopefully.
He stopped. Lord Gallo stops and he looks at Lady Drakemeyer and he says, "You don't want to let that rogue into the ball, do you?"
Is that really a question, my lord?
That's what he wanted.
Oh, I'm quite certain it was. Doesn't mean I'm going to give in.
No. Lord Daysip. His voice rings out.
Ash will turn around.
You will be my guest. I like him. He shows daring.
I would concur.
And Ash will let's give that sort of cheeky grin again, and we'll saunter up. Thank you, my lord.
As he's entering
Yes.
and he walks near, he will walk near Manfred, who is currently talking to Lord Uland, and would overhear him say, "Boy, so green, I bet he pisses grass."
He's got balls. I'll give him that.
Oh no, I didn't say I didn't have balls.
If Ash actually hears that, he'll turn around, and it's like, well, pissing grass is all fine, but ultimately, it's where you stick the pointy ends.
Well, I don't intend to put my penis anywhere near grass, thank you.
I mean, but the green girls are the best. And he'll continue to walk in.
Note to self: keep him away from my daughter.
Okay, he can keep away. He can keep away from your daughter.
I thought he was rather funny.
So basically, the Red Keep's throne room is built in obviously the style that you see. There are many great pillars of stone that raise up each of them that has been decorated with each one has been decorated to look like ivy is crawling all over them. And at one end sits the very imposing structure that is the Iron Throne. The Iron Throne seems to dominate the room. If it could speak, it would be almost like it could say volumes of stories of betrayal, bloodshed, carnage, and pain that has been stilled in this room since time immemorial. Oh shit, it's Tiny Orange.
Hello there.
Where was I? I was mid-sentence. Yes. A long table has been laid out in front of the great ziggurat upon which the throne sits, that is weighed down with food, delicious food, many different types of food from all over the Seven Kingdoms, and in fact beyond. There is indeed fine wine, fine meat, fine vegetables. Everything has been cooked to perfection, and Lord Ash, guess what? It's all free.
My dick gets hard. That's not what he's saying.
We're
but,
going
you know.
places already.
We've been going places for the last hour. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah.
Sarissa, bring me my spear.
To be fair, if Sarissa tried to bring you your spear, she'd end up stabbing you with it. You dozy.
That is true. just shows the horror of the situation.
Yeah.
Ask the blind girl to get the spear.
Here you are, father. Fuck, that's a pointy end.
I brought you your spear. That's a broom. I suppose it will do.
But you know what? Because I don't want to leave people outside for the lulz, and because it's meant to be inclusive. So, Lord Sherwind, and I don't know who Tiny Orange. Who do you play again? Also, what's your actual name? Because I will call you Tiny Orange for the remainder of existence.
Vicar. Hold on, give me a second. I get my stuff up.
What's his actual name?
I know.
Maybe Tiny Orange is his actual name.
Tiny
but he
Orange
knows
is
it's
what
not.
he's.
Everyone, we all. To be fair, I don't even know his name. We all just call him Satan.
Steak Boy.
Oh, my real life name. Are we talking about that?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. No, it's just Julian.
Okay. Hi, Julian. I like to know my player's actual name, so I don't have to constantly call them by nicknames or like their character names. It's fine. On a side note, hey, Az, you now learned something you didn't know. There you go. But yeah, so everyone will find a way to get in. You'll either be invited. You know what? I know exactly how you're going to get in, other Liam, aka Lord Sherwin. You are going to be invited in by by Lord Roderick Harlow.
Oh, bless his book reading ass.
Yeah. He also has like the coolest named Valyrian steel sword ever.
Oh, I'm aware. I am aware.
I don't envy him for anything else. I just envy him for the name they gave his sword because it's fucking badass.
What was his sword again?
Oh, it's like Night Whisper or something. It's like, oh fuck, what's it called? It's something Whisper, I think. I can't remember its actual name, but it's really cool.
I think Sir Corbe's Valyrian steel sword has a cooler name, Lady Forlorn.
I mean, Heart Eater is the coolest one I've heard, but that's, you know.
So hang on, Kate, do you now exist?
Please tell me that's at least some improvement.
Yes, that is in fact some improvement.
Okay.
But yes, so basically you were all set down to eat dinner. It looks like a very civilized affair, at which point Lord Daesop realizes he knows what none of the forks do.
Nope. I mean, what even is a fork? It's where you got hands, right? Like, it's literally the first thing that he does when he sees food is he grabs it with his hand, then looks around and is like putting it back on the plate
Scuffles
again.
away.
and it's just gonna, look at the others to see what kind of fork they're picking up, and at the same time, he's like, his belly is rumbling because, oh my god, that just smells delicious.
So, next thing that you see is, just for Dasa, because he's following Gallo around because he's his guest, is Gallo sits down, at which point his bodyguard leaves for about 10 minutes, comes back into the room with a huge chest, and just thunk the chest down on the table. He then opens it with a lock, at which point inside, for Lord Dasa, there is more money than your house produces in ever. It is a box filled with gold.
Blink. Just, eyes wide as saucers, blink. But then, pretending, oh, yeah, not impressed. Not impressed at all. There's food. There's wine. Look.
You see a number of people come to Lord Gallo for money, basically. He's just constantly making notes in a little book or on a little scroll, just kind of, yes, I'll give you that, and you can bet that, and I will cover that. He's just basically doing what I will refer to as being a classy-ass loan shark. If any of you actually listen, the repayments on these loans is fucking stupid as fuck. But, hey, desperate times call for desperate people.
Definitely listening in.
I've been listening in.
What was that, sir?
I'll be listening. I'll probably be just aimlessly listening to the receipts.
Orland, you know what I love about this situation?
Do go on.
That the lowest piece of dirt got invited in before Lord Sherwin.
Oh.
The ocean typically washes away the dirt. It only makes sense I have to come after.
Where did you come from?
Oh, Lord Baldwin. Oh.
Now, Lord Sherwin. You see, there's a very small man with very large, because, yeah, he does actually. Roderick wears spectacles, which makes no sense to me in a medieval era, but by God, he does. I remember that. You see this
isn't it written in the books like very slightly more detailed than it should be?
Yeah, it actually mentions the fact this guy wears glasses, which makes no sense to me. But he kind of... So there's this tiny little man who's kind of hunched over, has a very, very neatly trimmed mustache and beard. He says, Lord Caldwin, Lord Newland, yes. Pleasure to see you both again.
Pleasure as always.
For the record, if you want to know who this gentleman is, you may roll me your status. It will be
I'm also over here. I was also over here.
It will be a difficulty 12 check to recognize his house sigil.
Be real with you, Chief. I'm still trying to work out my status because I lost my character sheet like 2 weeks ago after my hard drive clapped itself.
Assume it's about a 4.
I'm pretty sure it's 4. So am I rolling like, was it 4?
Yeah, you roll 4d6.
Yeah, gotcha. All right, where am I doing this?
On the Game of Thrones channel.
Sound.
Lady Clarice recognizes him.
This is Lord Harlow, also known as the Reader.
I got a 14.
You know who he is.
Okay.
I'm just about to roll.
Cool.
14. I'm just gonna roll as well. I'm not gonna make it, but I'm gonna roll.
Oh, my computer's driving down.
Sorry. That's the worst roll ever.
That's the equivalent of a boss. You think this is a servant?
Oh right. That guy.
That is actually a servant. No. That is actually a bot. Yeah, no, you legit think he's a servant.
If he keeps it, if he keeps this up, Lord Baldwin might actually be like, "Are you interested in a job that actually pays? I'll pay you to be my court jester."
You know what? That is fine with me. I will take the job.
As gracefully as possible for someone who's almost 7 foot, I put my hand on Roderick's shoulder and I look over at Sherwin. I'm like, "Why can't you be more like your cousin?"
Oh my lord.
Just to make sure everybody from each house is here, right?
Yes. The answer is that I am rather atypical for an Iron Islander, I assure you, Master Uland. But Lord Sherwin has his own proclivities.
he turns ever so slightly, because he is your liege lord, of course. He turns, he looks at him now and says, he is more of the traditional ideal that an Ironborn ascribes to than I myself.
Yeah, Grayman nods. He's like, yeah, that's right. Suppose you need men of all colours.
Except, no, not going to say it. I nearly said something then. I nearly said a Mario quote.
Yeah. Oh, me too, Luigi. Takes all colours to make a rainbow, except black. Black's not a colour. Like, Jesus Christ, Mario. Like, I know it's the 80s, but fuck.
It was such an out there thing to have in a Mario cartoon. Yeah. Oh my God.
And you are Lord Daysip. For the record, he recognized your sigil. He's the only guy all day who's done it.
Oh God! And I think he's a servant.
Yep.
Oh, for fuck's sakes!
There is no justice.
I mean, Ash is actually happy that someone actually recognizes him. So he'll just smile friendly and says, I'm so proud of you."
I'm grateful for your pride.
It's always good to be grateful.
Is there a joke that I simply don't get?
Life's
some kind of poor joke.
You hurt my feelings.
I'm sorry. I'm confused. I was merely saying hello, and apparently you were proud of me for saying hello.
Well, not every person can say hello, be it high or low of status.
Lord Harlow, dear, I do believe he is referring to the fact that not a single person today has known who he is, with the exception of you.
Oh, I see. For the record, then you hear
Ash goes pale. Yup. Like, oh fuck, will jump up from his seat, probably knocking it over in the process, and will bow.
Because Lord Harlow is low-key the richest and probably one of the most powerful lords of the Iron Islands, and you're just like, nah, fuck that guy.
He reads books. He's not very Ironborn, I'm sorry.
He's really not. But he looks you up and down and he kind of goes, yes, if you'll excuse me, I believe that my sea trout is getting cold. I'll be over here. And he moves away very slowly, kind of like, I want to get away from this conversation.
And Ash looks up confused. Did he eat that warp? Huh. Because with them, fish is usually smoked because that'll mean it'll last longer.
All right, so just for the record, so I can get the two new people involved, Julian and Kate. You are currently in the throne room of the Red Keep. There is a banquet being thrown in order to celebrate the tourney of the hand that is due to take place in the next couple of days. There are several different individuals who are swanning, is the verb I'm going to use, about who are having conversations and interacting with one another. So feel free to join the conversation. Most of these people are here together, are gathered together in one conversation, so feel free to join them.
Vakar would just kind of be really sitting on his own and away from most of the people, just kind of observing everything, rubbing his temples a little bit at the recent event that just happened. Feeling a little bit disbelief of the other houses.
And what about Crazy Goat Lady?
I think she is probably going to be at one of the side tables and headbutting someone in the green. Why not?
All right, from the perspective of those of you who are gathered, you hear a kind of a meaty thunk and a
Can Meaty Thunk be the new name of Bobby B's theme music?
Yes.
Perfect.
Then you, Lord Colwood, you see your ward headbutt a knight of the realm into unconsciousness.
I did not teach how to do that, but I am proud. Oh shit, I should probably go deal with that. He's got to go deal with that.
Loading.
Okay, you're leaving your owner alone.
I'll sit alone and just listen to everyone.
All right, so with that in mind, poor Lord Baldwin scurries over. This man is from the Reach. You can tell by the flowers on his shield. He's got a broken nose.
Marissa, what did you do?
Just said hello. He started it.
What did he do?
He said hello, so I give him the greeting that we give each other. It's not my fault he can't handle a headbutt.
You are this woman's keeper. The knight says he very shakily gets his way to his feet.
Oh, you're conscious.
Oh, balls.
No. I apologize. She's from a...
She's from a what?
less sophisticated house.
Just because you feel the sudden urge to bring barbarians into civilization does not mean the rest of us should have to deal with it.
Excuse me?
Hey.
Vakar's just gonna murmur to himself as he's drinking. I'm gonna need many drinks for tonight.
Someone's gonna stood on the shrubbery.
Just because you feel the need to bring barbarians into civilization does not mean we have to deal with it. Did I stutter, wildling?
Ooh, that's a paddling.
She's just gonna headbutt him again.
All right, now this time you're going to have to actually roll. Roll me your fighting.
Okay, give me 2 minutes to find it.
My character just...
And with every headbutt, Lord Caldwin's street cred goes down.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, if anything, I think Robert Baratheon would actually be enjoying this, but he'd probably be like, "Stop doing that! Go on, get in, son."
No, you shouldn't be doing that. Kill him! No.
Vakar has a slight smile. It's like, "Oh, we get dinner and a show tonight."
A wedding without at least 3 deaths is considered boring by Dothraki standards.
I'm starting to like the other houses now.
Oh, Khaleesi.
Khaleesi, fire my loins.
Never mind.
Wow.
Passion Khaleesi. Big man, stop frosting, Khaleesi.
Yeah.
Khaleesi, please, just serve that coochie before I die.
He's like he's like dying. He's like, "What a crab of pussy, Khaleesi."
My God.
Fucking Jorah, like the human friend zone.
The human friend zone.
I just listen to all of this commotion, just like...
If it helps, whilst this commotion is going on, Lord Gallo is just happily sitting there, making money.
Sarissa, help.
This is not the way to behave.
Well, what this is happening?
Your adopted sister is humiliating a Reachman.
By the way, not just a Reachman. Would you like to give me another status check to look at his shield?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I heard roses, so I'm absolutely fucking terrified she's beating the shit out of the Flower Knight.
Like Loris Tyrell or something.
It's not quite that bad.
So, but yes, well,
Status check was that.
Yeah, it's the status check. It's going to be difficulty. It's going to be 10.
I got it.
Saskia, it's D6 is not D10s.
Oh, fuck. Sorry for, habit. I was already impressed. But yeah, no. No, I don't have it.
15.
It's a difficulty of 10. Okay. He has on his shield a green apple surrounded by roses.
Oh, it's a fossil way. Never mind. Carry on.
No, It's a Fossaway who has married a Tyrell.
Oh, fuck, never mind, stop.
It's a green Fossaway, not a red Fossaway. Blue, yellow, red thorns.
It's a green Fossaway.
You know what? Ash will get involved. We will saunter over and just, gonna look at this guy that he doesn't know, and
Hang
he's
on,
like,
guys, give me a second. I have to see if she confirms the second headbutt, because if so, we're
Okay,
about
fair enough.
We're about to go to Pound Town.
oh boy.
Oh, good.
Could I possibly intervene here, or do you want this to carry on?
Give it I have to see if the headbutt confirms. Then we'll see what we're going to do from here.
Right.
But yeah, the headbutt. Everyone else who doesn't know, the headbutt is a greeting from her house. So yeah, that's why she's doing it, not just randomly going around headbutting.
Would I be educated about that greeting, or is this news to me?
I assume
you could probably tell by the sound of it.
I would probably tell it was her. Okay, I'll probably be aware then of that's how her house greets people.
I just have to be back in 2 seconds. I just have to get my laptop charger, and then we can continue.
Okay.
Why did I take you on as a ward?
I mean, you can always shift to a young noble guy who's up and coming.
Scott, are you prepared in your best Bobby B voice to shout, "Stop this madness!
Stop this madness in the name of the king!"
That was a good headbutt, though.
I don't think I'll be doing any of that malarkey just yet. I think it's probably poignant that I instead simply walk up to the certain apple-flavored knight, lean over and went, "Okay, now you're going to keep this quiet, or you're going to have to explain to the rest of the guests why a little girl headbutted you." Knight. That's what you should say if you want to get him out of that. But my character wouldn't know that because he's dumb.
All right, and I'm back. Have we rolled the headbutt?
Yeah, I got 14.
Okay. Yep. Crunch. No. Sadness.
I'm assuming the first one was a greeting. This one was a legitimate headbutt.
What is your character's athletics?
Give me 2 minutes. My PDF keeps crashing on me.
We will assume it is at least 2, because it must be. All right. So this poor bastard goes caterwauling onto the floor again, at which point you see the fact that several other Reach Knights are actively reaching to draw swords.
Clarice would kind of cross the room and... Now, there's no need for violence. I think this can be handled a little more diplomatically, don't you think?
For the record, the Fossaway Knight, whose name is, if any of you succeeded by a degree of success, so if any of you got 19 or above, or sorry, no, I said a difficulty of 10. If anyone got 15, his name is Brandon Fossaway. Blood is just streaming down the face. If you've ever seen a broken nose, you bleed like a stuck pig. Fun facts.
Oh, that does not sound good.
If we have to wait anyway, then Ash will just, because Ash wasn't planning to join in on the fight. He's just kind of going over there to see if he can set the nose if it's broken.
Okay.
That does not sound good. I can hear the gushing of blood.
I can hear the gushing of blood.
So yeah, Ash will just lean down and we'll check this Sky if he's conscious, if his nose is still okay.
At which point, from the dais where King Robert is not sitting on the Iron Throne because it's actually really uncomfortable. He's sitting in a more comfortable chair. You will see somebody lean in and whisper something in his ear. At which point, the king
does he tell her she smells like blackberry jam?
Sure. At which point, the king will rise to his feet and say, "A Scot."
Enough of this. What the hell's going on over here?
My apologies, Your Grace. It seems Brandon Fossaway had his nose cracked by a little girl. And it's right.
Oh.
You'll see me toss a very small coin to someone I put a bet on.
By a small girl, did I? You see blood still streaming down his face. He gets up on his feet and says, "You, Lord Caldwell, are this girl's keeper. You will answer for this."
I raise my hand. Sure, this can be settled in the tourney.
You in the joust?
Yes. Fine. We'll consider it. Once again, he constantly has to rub blood from his face. We'll consider it a matter of honor.
Lord Caldwell will pull a handkerchief and offer it to him.
Oh, I was about to do the same. Which would have been so funny.
Both of you can. At which point he chooses the nice handkerchief as opposed to the one covered in brine.
Everyone just starts handing him handkerchiefs.
I mean, I should also kind of like grab his nose and be like, okay, yeah.
I'll look
There
at
you
him
go.
like,
Oh, okay. Do you want to roll me a difficulty 12 medicine check?
Oh boy. Oh God. Do I want to do this? No.
You've already declared the action.
Yeah, I know. Is there like a way like with like that you can spend willpower or something on this?
You can spend destiny points.
Okay, how does that work?
Basically, it gives you an additional dice.
Okay, I will spend one. Cause I mean my healing is okay-ish, but like, hooey, I know my dice rolls. So 1 extra dice. Oh God, here we go. Yes, I got it.
You literally grab this motherfucker's face and proceed to put his nose back into its socket. He lets out a scream, and the blood flows a little bit more freely for a few moments, but you know.
Pressing handkerchief against it is like, you better set it quickly because else it will always stay crooked. I mean, unless you want to go for that look, of course.
I imagine Ceres is gonna wince at the loud scream.
Grayman just touches his nose and just like carries on.
Vakav's just gonna look over at the other houses. So, how's everybody else doing?
I was rather delighted until that awful screech.
It seems the tournament has taken an early step.
It seems so.
Yes. I am sorry, my lady, that you had to hear such an awful sound.
Oh, it's quite alright. It just took me by surprise.
On the other hand, I could listen to your voice for and he'll think 1,000 years and never get tired of it. And can I roll seduction for that?
Not against another PC.
You're in.
Okay, no, against that. That's fine.
You're in thought destruction range.
No boy.
You do sway my heart. I may not be able to sing, but your voice does charm me oh so much.
And he'll smile. Thank you, my lady. It is an honor to be given such praise from you.
I guess I imagine these two just carry on talking.
So, basically, yes, Lord Ash, your hand is currently covered in blood. By God, that nose is straight.
You know, he's just gonna like I said, gonna like put the clean handkerchief against the nose, be like, you need to hold that for a while, and then just gonna return to his dinner, bloody hands and all. Unless, of course, the guy's gonna like smack him or something. I don't know.
No, he's not gonna smack him. One moment. But, okay, so, needless to say, the party goes on. It is rather uneventful after the broken nose of broken noses. I mean, it's not quite a Dothraki wedding, but, you know, it'll be, it's all good. So if any of you wish to do social interaction between one another, you can feel free to do so.
I mean, Ceres has been swayed. by this person.
I'm gonna head off, guys, because it's late. I need to work tomorrow.
Cool.
So,
Goodbye.
Ash is just gonna eat and get drunk and tries to take food in his pockets, you know, just leftovers. After everyone's done, he's like shoving leftover food in like a bag or something. And that's it. Thank you all. Good night.
See you later, Saskia. Bye.
Later.
Sleep well.
I guess I'm speaking to Lord Ash. I can't say that. Forgive me.
What?
Sophie, my dear, you really do have to speak up.
Oh, I imagine Sarissa's still talking to
Ashram.
yeah, Ashram.
Yes. Actually, yes. He'll say, by the way, my name is Ashram. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me look, as I forgot my own character's name for a second. My name is Lord Ashram Hassad. I hail from the Summer Islands.
Yes, I'm Lady Sarissa Coldwin. I'm here accompanying my father for the tourney.
Then it shall be most pleasurable to be in your company for the duration of this event.
Are you fighting in the tourney?
Only in the melee.
I see. Well, I'm excited to hear your battle then.
You're not. Well, not that you know that, but...
By the way, Lord Coltwin, I'm just going to be that guy. Now would be an excellent time to broach the prospect of marriage.
Oh dear.
As of the current moment, I feel like Colden's with Marissa, scolding her about how you do not headbutt people in the capital.
Does he want to try scolding her?
Yes.
I do apologise for the disruption this has all caused. She
It
means no
is.
harm.
Oh, it is no matter. It has been dealt with.
I can assure you I'm not as bold as my friends.
Oh, I would not dare to even think so. Looking at you, I can say that your heart has beauty that, well, is even greater than the one I see when I look up on you.
Sipping the wine.
I'm just gonna nudge the Lord and be like, look about your door then. You know.
So, what did she say?
She's gonna like nudge Lord Cauldron and go, your daughter.
Yes, I would be right now, but you did just headbutt a knight.
He'll be fine.
I seem to have a lot of problems going on right now.
My words are so charming if I
For the
know.
record, he's not just a knight, he's actually a relatively well-known and pretty... He's not the top tier, but he's a pretty high-tier tourney knight who has just said he will face you in the lists.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, now he's going to go over and deal with his daughter.
You say that like I'm an issue.
You're not the issue.
Bakar is just gonna look around and say, well, while we sit here and wait, does anyone have any stories, anything of wars that they'd like to talk about? Get the night thriving before we get to the tournament?
I tend to find that wars are an excellent way to piss gold down the sink, and that's pretty much all they're good for. Lord
That's scary.
Hmm?
That's in scaring the shit out of little bastards.
I was led to understand, Lord Ulan, that you gave the Greyjoys rather something to remember during the rebellion.
Oh, they'll never forget that. But do you remember the tourney? Some years back. Oh, which one was it? Must have been... You know, years back when I was a squire, Rhaegar was... he won it, I think, or came close. I'm like, you can see he's like trying to remember what it was in his head. This is the part where you roll knowledge.
Can I roll knowledge as well to help him out? Or
Yeah.
correct him if he's wrong?
Getting old.
I'm an old man.
If he gets it wrong, can I roll knowledge to correct him?
Oh, you want Gallo to roll knowledge? Sorry, my brain had a moment there. He will do that thing where he rolls his knowledge score. He actually has to. This is not his particular specialty subject, but he does have a very good knowledge score.
I mean, the one I'm referring to is the Tony Aaron Hall.
Yes. He was saying, I wasn't there myself, but you're speaking of the tourney at Harren.
Yes, when I was a boy, I nicked a keg of ale with the rest of the lads who were squires. And one night, we were drinking. I'm telling a story, by the way, because this is what you asked me to do. One night, we were out pissed. And this little neckman walks up to us, sees us with the barrel of ale. We know we can't let him out, offer him a cup. But being the proud cunt he is, he says no. Couldn't let him go. We had to rough him up a bit. So, I hesitantly started laying into him. Suddenly this knight rides over. Black steed. Some sort of practice weapon. Whips my ass raw, she does. Or he. It was only little. But one thing I can say is I never spoke of it to anybody else except for probably Lord Stedman. Yes. Strange thing about that tournament, the knight who won had a laughing tree banner. Never seen it before in my life. Must be one of those weirwood trees you northerners are so perturbed towards.
Oh, yes, it really is.
Anyway, he takes a sip of wine. Whatever. Point being, moral of the story, don't be a cunt.
Very valuable life lesson.
Indeed. The Northerners do so value their weirwood trees. I find them to be ghastly myself, absolutely abhorrent-looking things.
I've heard so many great things about them. I've always wanted to visit one, even if I may not see it, just to feel the shape of it.
Your daughter has a inquisitive mind, Lord Coltman.
Indeed. Before she lost her sight, she was quite into her books.
I still am. The only difference is I have to have that maester read them all to me.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
You haven't heard him read.
I do miss reading my history books.
There's that kind of somber moment of, we're actually sorry. She is clearly this season's nice character.
I do not want to say what I'm thinking right now.
I'm gonna die first. Then.
Yep.
Nothing personal.
No.
Why did I bring it here?
Well, I mean, to be fair, Nelson's character is the black guy, so if this was a Hollywood movie, sorry, kiddo.
Yeah.
I'm like the Aaliyah Martell of the story. I'm basically gonna horribly die.
Or Sansa.
Or no, nah. Sansa lives.
Just dab on your oppressors.
Did you just suggest you commit diablerie?
No.
I mean, I just have this great image of you basically drinking Joffrey's soul, just sitting there being like, I feel like a little shit.
You see, I said dab, but dabblery is the most fantastic thing I've ever came up with in my head.
Question: How many of the Kingsguard are currently present?
I mean,
currently there are 4.
Also, you say that as if like Joffrey has a soul.
You're not wrong. Give me 2 moments. Yeah, actually, this picture will do.
Would you like to repeat that, Nelson?
I mean, I did say that in character.
I know.
This gentleman walks towards you. Here we go. Father, it is good to see you.
Ah, Rickard. You doing well?
He will embrace his father quite well. Thank you.
I was hoping that we could get through this evening without, well, Lady Rivenholt causing some sort of problem, but I think I was wishing a bit too much.
I did see her headbutting Lord Foss, or Sir Fossaway. That was a spectacular movement of the neck. Though, frankly, he probably deserved to be taken down a peg or two. And Lord Uland, a pleasure to see you again, my lord. He will offer a very polite bow.
Pleasure as always. I nod my head. How's the life of a Kingsguard treating you?
Well, I'm one step away from being a monk, and I'm one step away from being a septon. So I'm a glorified bodyguard. What would you think life is?
Can't be the worst. You've got Robert to look after.
That's fair. However, I did not anticipate that moment when he took an ass and a honeycomb into a brothel. That was one that I never thought I'd see. But then again, c'est la vie, I suppose.
Wiggles' eyebrows with malicious intent.
And for the record, this is your daughter's elder brother, yes?
Yep.
Yep.
And little sister. So good to see you. So good to see you again.
Oh, brother. You sound as prideful as ever.
Well, what can I say? When I have to live in this city, it's either gain a sense of ego or, frankly, die depressed and drunk in the street. I've chosen my side of the coin.
Oh, come on. It can't be as bad here. We do miss you at times, but I'm sure you're perfectly fine here.
Must say the courtyard's a lot quieter.
And much more peaceful.
I hate it.
Yes, Father, just because you can't go off and hunt the banded clans until such point as it's 3 o'clock, it's 3 hours after the hour of the wolf, and everyone's deathly concerned about you till you drag yourself home smelling of ale and victory.
Good times.
Sorry, I just realized Warhammer has it literally says shattering on it. Oh, that's fantastic.
My apologies, my lords, my ladies. Some of you I know, some of you I don't. I believe you're Lady Drakemire. I was sorry to hear of the death of your husband. He was an honourable man.
Thank you. I appreciate the sentiment. And yes, you are correct. I am Lady Drakemire. Though you may call me Clarice, if it pleases you.
I would be delighted, Clarice. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, after all. And he's just looking at Julian like, I have no idea who you are.
I expected this. I am Vakar Astani. Pleasure to meet you.
I feel like that name should mean more to me than it does.
I come from the Riverlands.
Oh, you poor unfortunate soul.
Yes, yes.
Hashtag foreshadowing.
No.
I'm gonna make a roll to see if I can recognize who Lord Talsworth is.
We don't need to do that. No.
What's his status? 'Cause this gives a difficulty.
Let's see. I think I got through with the status. Me and Maz were working on that yesterday. I don't think we got to finish the status, so.
No, we did. It's status 2.
Oh, never mind. Yeah.
What difficulty would status 2 be?
Oh crap. That's really hard. It's like difficulty 20.
I'm gonna try anyway.
You do you, boo.
Nope.
The unknown man at the table.
You know what? Fuck it. Lord Gallo is going to try because he actually has crap loads of this.
What are you rolling for? Are you using
People to figure out who the fuck I am.
Who are you?
Wow, that was an unfortunate roll. He has no idea who you are.
Are we rolling status?
Yes.
Oh, I'm not going to bother then.
Difficulty 20, so none of us have any clue.
To be an infiltrator at this point, like.
Where's Lord Sherwin sitting exactly?
What are you asking?
I'm curious.
Liam?
I'm not actually sure. I'm trying to think, but I don't think Evan ever specified. I probably just sat with Roderick trying to understand how someone so fucking un-Ironbornly is Ironborn.
If it helps, whilst he's sitting there, he's reading a book.
Oh, don't do me this way, Evan, please.
I'll do you dirty. That is all.
I'm going to be civilized. And she just kind of looked. I mean, she doesn't look. She just. Lord Sherwin, you must have had a long journey here.
If I told you the truth about how I got here, you really wouldn't want to be talking to me.
Well, I'd be quite interested to hear the story.
Well, you're aware of our rich culture, of our natural tendency to plunder, pillage, and things that this lord has never done in any right. Just in case anyone else is listening. Yeah, stuff like that, but totally legal.
She just kind of looks towards you.
This would earn a glare from Clarice.
I'm gonna have to get Anthony Hopkins in here if you keep calling yourself that name. I'm sorry.
Lord Caldwin looks absolutely
It's her
horrified.
fucking name.
Hello, Clarice.
At this point, the doors will open. There is no fanfare whatsoever because no one knows who this guy is. Hi, Bishop. How's it going? Going good, friend? Going good, friend?
It's going well. I have burgers.
Beg your pardon?
It's going well. I've got burgers.
Did you say you have breakfast?
Burgers.
Oh, burgers.
I wouldn't mind breakfast either, though.
Burgers are an acceptable food source.
I'm gonna roll to know who Bishop is.
Oh
Does
god.
Oh god.
Smell like seaweed too.
I mean, I get bonus to my status rolls because I'm anointed.
I know who he is!
It's fine.
Holy
Just sit here alone.
Someone knows who I am. I feel proud.
I didn't know who Ashdasip is, but I sure as shit know who you are for some reason.
Oh my god! Someone else. Oh no, Gavin already knew who you were. I shouldn't roll that. He knows who you are. But
Chris actually would too.
But all right. So in that case, tell them what they would know about you, my dear seaweed knight.
Oh dear. If only I had the backstory to indulge you all with.
We can make it up as we go along, don't worry.
That's kind of the plan.
God damn it. let's see. What is there to know about the legendary Seaweed Knight? So I tap my table.
He is an anointed knight from House Dasip, the same individual from the house that you met earlier. His family are from one of the smaller islands that are sworn to Dragonstone, former pirates in their own right. However, the Seaweed Knight has tried and striven in order to gain himself a place among the actual aristocracy of the Seven Kingdoms, having been and presented himself to be an individual who participates in several different tourney events in order to win fame and fortune for a family that otherwise no one knows exists. There you go.
What he said. Thanks.
What's your name?
1 second, I actually had it up. Baranon Daysip. Well, Sir Baranon Daysip, because he's actually a knight, so.
So, for the record, Sir Daysip, your sponsor, is in fact in the room. He is seated at a small table with a gigantic chest filled with gold.
Of course he is. When does he not ever have a gigantic chest of gold right next to him?
If it helps, at the moment he appears to be loaning gold to people.
Of course he is.
Is that you, Seaweed Knight?
Seaweed Knight?
There's a sort of as Baranon begins to walk over to, in his eyes, one of the more important people in the room, he just stops. And I'm just going to say, for the purposes of humor, because his house is so insignificant, this is probably a delightfully mocking nickname he has achieved. And his gaze begins to slowly shift to the one addressing him. Hey, Onion Knights were fantastic in Final Fantasy. And yeah, he just begins to does he know this person? The person addressing him?
I suppose for all your status.
Okay. I have the anointed quality, so I can add 2 to this. I think it's the post result though. I am not good at status rolls. I am really not. Okay, get a 12.
I have no idea if that passes.
God damn it.
And Evans disappeared.
Evan! Loan me your shit.
I'll be. I'm just gonna get some food.
See you in a bit.
I want to know how like at least one of us seems to know who the Seaweed Knight is, but absolutely no one knows who the hell the car is.
It's a very long trip to the Riverlands.
It really is. It really is. I mean, the trip is so.
Home.
Yeah, I mean, the trip is really just so long, mainly because no one wants to actually go there. So every moment you spend heading towards it feels like 10 years. Oh. Fight for it. We wait with bated breath. Evan to speak.
And this is all just so you know whether or not you know who I am.
Everyone, I just imagine everyone's just sitting at the table, just very quiet.
I'm just chugging fucking ale at the moment. Trying to break my record.
Is the man that I talked to last time whenever we all gathered here? I can't remember who he was.
Is this the one who spoke about his bowel movements?
Yes, and I was gone for the entire game because
No,
he
he's
wouldn't
not.
stop talking about his bowel system.
He's not here.
Thank God.
Evan.
He'd be the
Evan.
only one who would know me.
I rolled a 12 to find out who Lord Colburn is.
Colburn status, the answer is yes.
Cool. I assume he's more important than me.
Everyone is more important than you.
I mean, this is also true. Yeah, so, Baronon's gay sort of slowly shifts to Lord Coldwin. As there's a somewhat brief moment where
It's 25 just so you know.
hey, I'm going for the 100, baby.
We're quarter of a way there.
Yeah, that was on purpose. He will just, god damn it. Hey, it's my speaking story. You didn't give Obama shit for this.
I did.
Oh, okay.
All
fair enough.
Americans, I are.
But no, he just kind of eyes him for a second before then giving him probably a different bow because, I mean, he probably doesn't want to piss off a lord. His movements are quite slow and measured and a little bit artificial.
So it's somewhat obvious that he's being very careful to choose his next move.
Mm-hmm. Lord Coldwin.
You were at Joffrey's name day tourney, weren't you?
He considers for a moment, as if to reminisce. I believe I was. That was a very interesting day.
I went up against you in the joust. You're a talented man.
Likewise.
If by talented Lord Colburn he knocked you flat on your ass, then yes.
Not many men succeed at knocking me flat on my ass.
At which point he becomes Lord Sherwin's new best friend.
I imagine it's part of your charm. Lord Gallo. Another deferent bow to the other lord.
My dear Sir Dacer, won't you sit down, have a cup of wine?
It would be my earnest pleasure. Gives a smile, which is a little, looks a little bit coy. And we'll be seated with Lord Gallo.
Allow me to introduce the lady of my banner house, Lady Drakemire. Lady Drakemire, this is the darling Seaweed Knight.
It's a pleasure.
Likewise, my lady. He whenever someone calls him Seaweed Knight, there's like a twitch or a blink.
So, Gallo leans back in his chair. And he looks at you. For the record, he has 2 different color eyes. So it's quite unnerving to look at, particularly from Westeros, who are very superstitious people. But he says, "You're going to require some outfitting for the competition, my boy." For the record, he calls him my boy, but you two are not much different in age.
Yes, it would be unfitting of me to head into battle naked.
A naked seaweed knight. How interesting.
Though it would be rather amusing.
Now, my dear, I'm sure that I can send for Lord Littlefinger and he can provide you with those kind of entertainments if you desire them.
Oh, heavens, Lord Gallo.
Yeah, jousting naked would be all fun and games until you come up against Sir Gregor.
I'm led to understand that Sir Gregor would probably win with his shaft alone in that particular competition.
Which one?
That's the question.
To be straight with you, I don't think armor does any good against a man of that size.
Is Sir Gregor here, by the way?
Not currently. He will arrive in the next few days for the tournament.
Lord Unit.
Just scanning to make sure, scanning to see if he's here.
Lord Tywin will be sending him south in order to compete in the tournament. My liege lord is always more than happy to show his best. But, Seaweed Knight, you'll need new plates and a new warhorse. I tell you what, I'll foot the bill for you, and in exchange, a simple agreement. If you win, I'll take a third of the purse.
A generous offer. One I'm happy to accept.
Good. He slips a piece of parchment across the table.
He looks down at it. I assume it's just like the agreement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's no complicated legalese in there whatsoever.
Nah, not that Seaweed Knight is any good at such complicated legalese, but you know.
I was gonna say, can he even read it?
I can read. I have language.
How many points?
2.
I've come from another place and I speak your language as good as you do.
As the Seaweed Knight stands on the line, Orgala will smile. He will then put a rather generous helping of gold from his chest into a bag, and he will hand it to the Seaweed Knight. Go down to Mott's shop on the Street of Steel. He'll see that you're all right for armor. And as for a horse, well, you can't go wrong with Cavincle's equine. You can find them just outside Mudgate.
Will do. My thanks.
What can I say? I'm a generous man.
I can imagine.
If anyone here would like to roll me stewardship, they can. It's going to be difficulty 10.
So what do we roll?
And actually, by the way, he would not be able to read it. You have to have 3 points to have a basic grasp on reading.
Nope.
It's fine. If people didn't know that, you can alter your sheets after the game. Don't worry about it. If you want to be able to read. But yeah, so if anyone wants to give me a status with a specialty in stewardship roll, difficulty 10, they may feel free to.
I'm assuming if you don't have any stewardship specialty dice, then just straight stewardship.
Just straight stewardship, yeah.
Where the hell is stewardship?
It's a specialty under status, so just roll your status.
Bueno.
It's up to 10.
Can you take special dice in stewardship, or is it like...
Yeah, you can. There's things like heraldry, stewardship,
Reputation.
reputation.
Oh, bueno.
I'm gonna go eat Furbit. The unknown lord or sir will be gone for a good bit. We'll see you all later.
See you later.
See ya.
Okay, anyone who succeeds on the roll. So, what might have sounded like a good deal considering the amount of money that's being offered, Lord Gallo just took this poor guy to town on a mule and then brought him home and then put him away wet.
What was the difficulty?
10.
But if you can't fight Arse naked, and also, like, let's not beat around the bush here. If he loses, he still gets to keep the armor.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, no, it's not a terrible deal for the Seaweed Knight. Mostly because Gallo didn't put in a premise of, if you lose, you still have to pay me.
Yeah.
He definitely did get the upper hand in the... If this guy, for the record, if any of you actually succeed on the Seaweed Knight's reputation, he's actually really good as a jouster. He's a very, very competent jouster. He could even be in the top tier of jousters. So...
Yeah, that's a good investment.
Mm-hmm. Also, the armor is going to be green and have your house sigil on it.
I mean, he's a Seaweed Knight. I'd expect his armor to be green.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Yeah, Seaweed Knight. He's now become very quickly recognized as. We'll just turn to I suppose everybody else. I'm curious. Is anyone else present expected to be participating in the tournament?
I'll be taking part in the joust.
As per usual, the melee.
I will also be participating in the melee.
Oh, I can't wait. He knocks his breastplate. It almost resonates in a suspicious manner.
In his own breastplate, or
on his breastplate?
Is it because he used to be a much bigger man than he is now, and it's actually hollow?
Well, see, the reality is that it's no longer hollow, but that's because he's dummy thick. But also, just because Valyrian steel resonates differently.
Oh yes, he has a set of Valyrian steel armor. Very pretty.
Well, you see, the idea is the way I've done it is I've had it, bathed in oil so it doesn't look like Valyrian steel. Otherwise, people would nick it.
It does, however, have a dragon on the front of it because apparently that was very common for Valyrian steel armor.
And I can't scrape it off. I've tried.
He tried. Literally, you just see these tiny little chip marks.
Joy.
Yeah. I have no doubt that the tournament will at least be interesting.
I'm excited.
I'm pleased to hear that, my dear. You shall have to come and watch from my box if your father will be amenable.
I'd love to listen from your box.
Well then, we have an accord. Alright guys, I'm going to actually start to bring this session to a close. So, the night will continue entirely fine. There will be no... everything will go on entirely as normal. The next morning, however, there's a very... This is to be the precursor to the next session. There's a very heavy bang on the door of... where is Lord Colvin going to be staying?
Somewhere. I imagine something's been sorted ahead of time.
Do you want to stay at Lord Gallows' estate in the capital?
Oh, if he's invited, he'll definitely take that up.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sure.
He will also invite House Jasip to stay with him at his estate, provided they don't steal anything.
I mean, did he really have to get that qualified? I mean, yes, he did. But,
I've met Saskia's character. Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. Ash is an interesting fellow.
But the door is open. Lord Caldwin, you are woken. It's very early in the morning.
Okay.
You see a number of gold cloaks standing downstairs, along with a man who's dressed in a long cloak that goes down and drapes along the floor. You don't happen to recognize him, but he looks up at you and he says, "Lord Caldwin."
What seems to be the issue?
I'm here to arrest your ward, Marissa Ravenholt, for murder.
Excuse me?
Dun dun dun.
All you hear in the distance, like in the castle or estate where it's just, piss off, it's early.
That's
It's just killed. It's just like she's not here, followed by that.
Yeah, can we take a second to appreciate how stupid that was? Like, jeez.
She stands accused.
They're going to have to drag her out of it.
She stands accused of the murder of Ardrin Fossaway.
What, did he bleed out from a headbutt? That's embarrassing.
No, he was found knifed to death.
Huh.
Oh dear.
You will present her now, or my men will, needless to say, despite your rank and station, take her by force.
There'll be no need for that. He'll go to get Marissa.
Hi, Marissa. How's it going?
When he goes to like her room, he'll open the door and a ghost will probably run out, followed by probably 2 male men that enjoyed the evening, and she'll just be like, "What? Too early."
The gold cloaks are here to arrest you.
Not only that, Lord Caldwin, as you look around the room, something becomes imminently apparent to you.
Go on.
And Lady Marissa, I will say this was definitely not there when you went to bed. There was a blood-stained knife on her dressing table.
Hang on. So I assume that the guards haven't come in just yet, because he said he'll come and get her.
Correct.
Hide the fucking knife, boy. Because provided you hide the knife, you can just be like, "Oh, I have an alibi," you know.
Marissa, go downstairs. The gold cloaks are waiting. Now tell me right now. I want you to be honest. Did you kill that man?
You haven't mentioned why in the first place.
He's also going to point at the knife and be like, "Is this yours?"
No. But if you want me to stab someone, I'd rather keep them to death.
I know it's not really your style.
And she'll sigh, and then she'll be like, fine, and she'll get her health wrapped around her and just stomp out. Not pleased at being woken.
So, Lord Coleman, what do you do with the knife? Do you hide it, or do you present it? Are you an honourable man?
He's going to hide it because he does not believe she did it.
Excellent.
I'd also like to point out that the statistical chance of somebody winning the joust just went up substantially. Who would ever stand to gain from such a thing?
In his bed, Lord Gallo simply smiles.
But would you need a convenient scapegoat or something for that? You little rat.
that note, boys and girls, we will end our scene. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another episode of Game of Thrones, The Shadow of the Iron Throne, because it had to give it a fucking name. Have a pleasant evening.